Good morning. It's that time of the year where I'm off doing band camps, working with wonderful kids all across the country. And this morning I'm in Danville, Illinois, and I'm at a nearby state park. You can see the calm waters over here. It's really pretty morning. I drove past a family of 5 deer on the way here, and it's really nice. And I always start my mornings off with, if I can, a nature walk, but always a couple of hours of reflection and going inward, doing some meditation and contemplation. And I wanted to address again this idea of mindfulness that we keep talking about. And there's a big difference between mindfulness when it's applied in meditation and that English word, being mindful. It's not the same thing. So the word for mindful or mindfulness in Tibetan is Drempa, and it refers to memory. And it is when you're meditating and you're trying to hold your mind on the object, the mind likes to wander. And so you have to use Drempa to put it back. And Sheijin means awareness. Those are the English words, but we got to look at the definitions, not just the words and the way we use them in English, because we're notorious in our language for having multiple meanings and getting stuck on only one of them. So mindfulness meditation, as it's being taught by a lot of people, has nothing to do with the outside objects. You don't listen to the sounds of the birds and so on. That's mindful in English when I say, I'm being mindful of the birds, but it's not Drempa. I don't have to keep remembering to put my mind on the object of the birds. You're just paying attention, and that's called Yila Jepa. And in Tibetan, Yila Jepa means to pay attention. So if I'm paying attention to the birds, Yila Jepa is, the outer object. In meditation, we don't need to fix the outer object. Okay? So the mindfulness teachers out there, if you're watching this, we don't need to fix the sounds of the birds. We need to fix my mind. We need to fix why do I get depressed? Why am I having suicidal thoughts? Why am I having nightmares and so on? All of this, if you meditate properly and if you're taught by a trained, qualified, educationally focused master, all that's going to change. But listening to the birds is just going to make you feel a little bit relaxed for right now. And then you get back out there and all those things come at you and you're back to doing it and reacting to them the same way. So mindfulness meditation, as it's being taught by a lot of you on here, a lot of you on Instagram I see, are teaching it wrong. It's nothing to do with out here. We take a mental object and we focus inwardly on that mental object, or we do analytical meditation where we're really looking at how our mind functions and we're working on fixing the broken parts. And yes, we can fix those. We can learn to control our thoughts. And if, in Buddhism, one of the daily affirmations we say is Rangi Semni Yonso Dul. That line, Rangi Semni Yonso Dul, means thoroughly tame your mind. And it's possible. It is possible to sit in silence without any verbal thought. I got there by 2016. I did not get there from listening to the soft-spoken ASMR voice style DVDs that I bought in the early 2000s. All they did was make me sleepy and giggle, because who talks like that? The Dalai Lama doesn't talk like that. The most holy person on the planet in Buddhism, the most qualified scholar on all of Buddha's teachings, is quite loud when he's teaching. So we have to understand Drempa and Sheijin. Sheijin is kind of like the platform you put the microscope slide on, and then Drempa is looking into that lens and analyzing. And what you're analyzing, what's on that slide, is your own mind. The storylines that keep going and going. You go out and you spend time with your friends and you're laughing all day, and you get home and you're by yourself. Within 10 minutes, you're feeling miserable because you don't like being alone. That's what you got to get into. Not birds, not the sounds of the birds, not the smell of the incense. You need to get in and figure out why your mind keeps going there. If you don't want to be depressed, claw your way out of depression. That's what I tell everyone who comes to study Buddhism with me. They want to learn about their mind. You don't want to be depressed? Find a way out of it. Advertising, you just don't understand what it's like to be depressed, isn't going to fix that. Yes, we have compassion for you. We understand that it's not a good state of mind. We feel for you and we'll hold your hand through it. But you have to want to get out of it. You don't put your hand on a hot stove and go, you just don't know what it's like to have your hand on a hot stove. What's that smell? Oh my God, you just don't understand. Pull your hand off. We don't do that with mental states for some reason. We do with physical states. I'm sitting on something that hurts when we move. You know, I got a pebble in my shoe and I got to take it off and get the pebble out. Great. I'm depressed. You don't understand. I have anxiety. You don't know what that's like. The Tibetans don't deal with those. And we need to look at their culture and what it is that they're teaching and practicing on a daily basis to get it out of us, to get the most out of it for ourselves. Tibetan monks who have come out of Chinese prisons where they have been tortured, who've been studied afterward with some very sensitive biofeedback, the researchers have found that there's no signs of trauma. No signs of trauma in their head. None. That's an extreme. And so if they can do it, I can do it with my small childhood problems. And I've had a friend criticize me and say, you can't compare the two. Yeah, you actually can. We can compare the difference between, I got a paper cut and that person needs open heart surgery. You can't compare the two. Yeah, you absolutely can. Put a little Band-Aid on it. We got to work on this guy. So it's the same thing here. If they can do it, they have the tools and have been trying to share them with the world of how to fix my problems. And that's why I turn to them. The Dalai Lama has lost over 2 million of his own people. He's not got to live in his own country for 50 years. And people want to invite him and come and listen to him talk about how to be a happier person. He's still teaching happiness with all these tragedies and calamities that have gone on in his history. He's still teaching these things. So, it's something to reflect on.